This video is almost half of what you need to learn how to properly wield a katana. So in this video, I'm only going to be going over 3 things: how to wear your katana, how to draw the katana, and how to put the katana back. So the first and most important thing is that you're actually going to want to wear your katana with the curve downward. The reason why we don't wear it like this is because naturally, if I hold this in my hand like this, and I open my hand, it naturally wants to fall backwards. This is a more stable way of carrying the katana.
Hello everyone, Future Rorik here. I was editing back over the footage when I realized that I didn't do a very good job of explaining certain things. So I'll be popping in from time to time to, correct and add information. Like this. The reason why we wear our katana with the curve downward, with the curve upward, or the blade facing upward, is because it makes it that much easier to draw your blade in combat. With the blade facing down, it's very awkward and hard to get the sword out of its case and slice at the same time. You're sort of limited to one upward diagonal motion. Whereas if you wear your sword like this, then you have the opportunity of cutting in multiple different directions without having to do too much weird stuff. All you really have to do is turn the scabbard. Whereas if the scabbard is upside down, you have to hold the scabbard in a strange way to be able to twist and maneuver it.
So, the very first thing that you need to know is you need the crossguard to be directly down your midline. You don't want it to be farther back, because then you can't very well drop the katana into your hand. You want the crossguard to sit right down your center line. Then, you hold the katana just a little bit back from the crossguard, and you're going to put your thumb just onto the crossguard like so. You want it to be a little onto the side of the handle because it helps get your hand out of the way. You're probably not going to cut yourself regardless, but it just helps to keep it off to the side. Not only that, there are some cuts when you're using a katana that require you to turn the scabbard over, which is much easier if your thumb is over here. If your thumb is farther over this way, you get much less turn out of the katana than you would otherwise. Now, once you've got the katana properly lined up and your other hand is in its proper place, you are going to drop the katana into your hand. One of the reasons that you don't want it over here is because you don't want to have to reach across yourself to grab the handle. If you have to reach across yourself to grab the handle, your opponent can see you moving your arm up and they can very easily take it off before you ever have the chance to get your katana out of its case. The reason for this is because your arm is completely exposed. However, with the crossguard down the center of your body, whenever you go to drop your handle in, the katana is basically protecting you from upward cuts along your entire arm. So you drop the handle into your hand as you push the katana out of its case. So you give it a push, you grab the katana, then, just like you're telling someone, stop, you're going to draw the katana straight forward. As you draw the katana forward, make sure that you're bringing the scabbard back like so. This is going to make sure that your blade has enough room to get out of this case. Now, once you're out here in this position, you can't very well get it out of the case. You have to strain your body, you have to lean forward, you have to pull back, and it causes a lot of tension across this area of the blade, which could very well dull part of the tip of your blade. So, as you draw the katana, as your arm extends, again, straight forward, and you bring the scabbard back, you're going to give it a bit of a twist. Just as you twist it, you're going to close your hand. Just like that. That is all we're doing is from that motion, we are just closing our hand. And you see how the blade naturally swings out. So, one more time, nice and slow, and then I'll do it a little faster. So you're going to draw the katana out, give it a twist, and close your hand. You can add a little bit more movement as you start to get more and more proficient with this, such as a slight twist to the body, which will add power to it. And if you're doing it correctly, you honestly will probably hear that nice whoosh of the katana slicing through the air. So one more time, nice and fast. So the final portion of this video is going to be returning the katana to its case. Now there are multiple ways that you can actually return the sword to its case. However, this is the most common method used for returning the sword. So after you have drawn your sword, once you have realized that your opponent is defeated, they are no longer a threat, you're going to step back. You never want to step forward toward your opponent. You always want to step back. The reason for this is because you want to keep a good distance between you so that you have a firm view of your opponent. Whether or not they're truly defeated has yet to be told. So you're going to take, after you do that, you're going to take a step back. Then you are going to bring the sword to the side. This is commonly referred to as the blood shake, though it doesn't actually shake any blood off unless it's really coated in human carnage. So you step back, you bring the sword to the side as a symbol of bringing off impurities. Then bring your shoulder back, and this is mainly just to prevent the sword from rubbing up against you and cutting you. So you bring your shoulder back, the sword up, and then as you bring the sword down in, you bring the scabbard back up to meet it slightly so that the sword rests down your midline again. Whenever you have your sword out and you're facing it and you've confirmed that your opponent is in fact gone, instead of stepping back, you're simply going to approach a neutral stance. This could be the blood shake, but you're going to approach a neutral stance. The tip of your blade should be in line with the rest of your body, and you'll simply bring your sword up and sheath it as normal. Then, instead of seating the blade completely, you're going to leave a small bit of the blade exposed like so, then run your hand up to the pommel of the handle, and then very carefully seat the blade. So, a few things to keep in mind while you're doing this, mainly in the drawing portion. You really want to make sure that the part that you focus on the most is going to be the last few inches of bringing the katana out. So as you bring the katana out, there is still about this much of the blade left inside of the scabbard. Like I said, about 5 to 6 inches. As your arm has reached its zenith, turning the scabbard as you bring it back to get that nice little flick.
But that's all I have for you today, my friends. If you liked this video, please give me a like and subscribe so that you'll see more of them in the future. And if you'd like to help support the channel and get your name up here with these wonderful people, go over to my website at coffee.com/The Lions Guild and become a monthly member for only $1. I'll leave that down in the description below. But that's all I have for you today, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you around the guild.